Hi everybody, welcome back to another segment of hashtag cell phone diaries. I am Yolanda Yankee and this is Yolanda's digital diary. Well, that's the name of my channel. Well, I'm hoping for it to get to a point where I'm able to literally have the name Yolanda's digital diary. But again, in any case, this is hashtag cell phone diaries, where we are really just trying to get into the role of recording raw, uncut content right at the top, hence the cell phone diaries. It's a play on the word selfie and cell phone, obviously, and the fact that this is a digital diary. So yeah, the ambience right now is not, it's not purposeful. It's really because I am load shed, as Eskom doing what it does best, you know, the government doing what it does best and infringing on our human rights. So this is just another daily installment of that, and I just figured, why not whip out my phone whilst I have a bit of light. You know, I've got a candle lit in my house, got my laptop screen on right now, but my laptop will probably die in the next 15 minutes because it does rely on being charged for it to stay on, you know, and so its battery runs out very quickly when it's not plugged in. It's the last weekend of June, you know, we've made it through the first month of winter, and god damn, I don't even know what's going on. Solstice, something cosmologically, obviously we all know it's just like a daily occurrence, but this past month it was heavy. Hey, I know, Shane, this month, I'm telling you, Brad, was throwing hands like hard. And I'm obviously so glad that like this is the last weekend. I'm really just waiting for things, small things, you know. It's another day of dealing with rejection applications. I had an unsuccessful application this week, and so you know, it was, I didn't it's not this, it doesn't hurt as bad because, you know, like I know that the one rejection that I lost, it was made up for, and so I know that God is going to make up for this rejection as well, in the form of another blessing, another opportunity. And so that's just like kind of like the mindset that I'm trying to carry, and that I've really just been trying to channel, the kind of energy that I've just been trying to channel into the universe, a mindset of abundance, a mindset of ability and trust and faith, and knowing that not everything can be mine, but anything is possible. You know, it's understanding that there's so much in this world that I cannot possibly have everything, but I can have as much as, you know, I possibly could put my best foot forward in achieving and gaining, and just also playing a part. Really, that's just awesome. It's not a matter of just like, oh, taking, guys. Like, you know, you play your part, you do your things, you study, you go to work, you study, you pray, you repent, you know, you rebuke, you do all the things that you need to do. You fast, you read, you do whatever the fuck you need to do in order for you to get the shit that you want. And so that's just really it. And knowing that even when you do that, you cannot get everything, but knowing that most things are available to you and you can get literally anything. So yeah, I don't know if I'm making sense, but yeah, that's just like where I've been. And it's very difficult, you know, because this all touches and this all touches into like mental health, trying to be okay through just through times where you're dealing with like a conflict of emotions as a result of so many so many circumstances that you find yourself in, or thrown at you, you know. So yeah, but yeah, we're here. My book, well, my organization's book, our first publication, African Feminist Solidarities, you know, has been published for just over 9 months now. December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So Yeah, so I'd say it's about 8 months because it was published on the 25th of November. So it's been a good 8 months, and today's the 25th. Yeah, it's been about 8 months, and it's just been over a month since we've had its physical copies, paperback copies for free distribution. And yeah, you know, like, some days are good, you know, like the first few days of its release were really like exciting. There was some interest shown, public interest from people, you know, saying, oh, they want, and there's still few people, you know, as the weeks have gone by. Obviously, I guess the traffic it hasn't been as much, but you know, it has been quite an interesting process, an interesting just place to be. Time, you know, a time in my life where, you know, there's this body of work that I've contributed to, and that, you know, I'm trying to put out and share with, and ensure its reach, its maximum reach, and with very limited funds and resources available, you know, because also it's not just my work. These are stories. It's a compilation of 14 bodies of work, you know, by 14 women. And so, you know, having these women entrust my organization with just that platform and just the responsibility of taking care of their work, and just ensuring that even how I speak about it, for instance, or how I represent, or how the organization also represents their work, is very important, you know. And so there's that like level of trust that they've put in that it's like amounts to some sort of pressure, because you don't want to like disappoint these people. If anything, I don't want to take anybody's work for a ride. There's a whole lot of things, man. It's just it's hard because I am that team. I'm the organization. You know, I'm a evaluate who's run by one individual who has help here and there, you know, in the form of friends, and you know, the few people that I do work with. But generally, everything is its growth, its identity, its existence, it's placed on me, that responsibility. And so for the most part, I am thankful for the responsibility that God has entrusted me with, growing this institution and realizing it and its full potential and what it could possibly do and serve in our society, you know, and in the current state of things, when it comes to, I guess, gender activism in South Africa and advocacy awareness and all of that. And really, I think my priorities has always just been about like just centering Black women's voices, ensuring that we're not on the peripheries, ensuring that, you know, we partake in very important discussions about our lives, you know. And as it is, look at the shit, bruh. Like, they've overturned a very, very important rule or law in America that really just basically grants access to safe abortions for women or people who can fall pregnant. And yeah, it's a shit show, you know, because obviously it's going to have severe implications, definitely on, you know, African states who rely on foreign aid, and just apart from the foreign aid aspect, the fact that we also draw most of our policies from the West, from Western ideology, you know. And if like America, the godfathers of capitalism, you know, push any sort of like structural reform or propaganda, trust, it is going to propagate in the way that it needs to. And so it's very dark times for women, you know. It's very dark times for Black women, women of color, women in poor communities, and what this means in terms of accessing our sexual reproductive health rights and enjoying them in the ways that we should. It's just another day of being reminded that our lives, our bodies don't belong to us, you know. And there are people, there are men who can, and women, you know, there are individuals who can just collude and collectively decide what we can and shouldn't be able to do with our bodies. And it's disgusting. It's angering. We put a quick end to the shit, you know. And so, I mean, apart from just processing those news, which happened yesterday, there's also the fact that I met up with my legal team just to like kind of discuss what the way forward is with my life and what I intend to do now that I have emerged victorious, bitches. better check this face. This is a winner's face. Okay, I win. Yeah, as you know, in the matter between Yankee versus Rhodes, so there's those shenanigans to kind of, it's not shenanigans, I don't even know what I'm saying, but the point is there were the strategic conversations being held about the way forward, and yeah, it was quite traumatizing actually. It's just like, it's so emotionally exhausting. It's like, even when there are good news, you know, even when there are good news, and I'm in a better position in terms of like my status with the university, and like, you know, because for the most part this was about clearing my name. It was about not having to or needing to explain why I was excluded at Rhodes, what did I do, the guilty sanction, blah blah blah, justify myself as though I'm this like criminal that Rhodes, you know, has obviously spent so much time in purporting me to be. And so like, I just feel like I don't even have the words to express the way I'm expressing right now yesterday, but I feel like they probably understand, because I'm just like, fuck Rhodes. Like, just like, fuck Rhodes. It's just like they can't get away with what they've done and thinking that it's okay. Like, I'm like, they're sure there's some sort of accountability, but it's just, but again, let's park the conversation, you know, because there are people who always stalking and watching and lurking, and yeah, man, so there's just a lot going on, and the fact that I'm just unemployed. I think I just need to get the term. I think one important thing is just to get the whole thing of me being unemployed out, because I feel like by me saying I'm unemployed and like accepting that like I'm unemployed, you know, I feel like I'm saying that I don't work, you know, or I'm incapable of working. And it's not that I'm incapable of working, right? And it's not that I don't have things that I can and I am doing. I do, you know, it's just I don't have enough resources. So I am self-employed and looking for funding constantly. I am self-employed and building. So whilst we're on this path, I think it's, yeah, I think that's another thing that I've come to consciously realize and learn. It's just speaking, as I was saying earlier on, speaking positive, speaking good. It's just like an understanding how easy it is to become a victim of your circumstance, or a victim of the status quo. Yeah, victim of the status quo. And so, yeah, sure, we're unemployed. Unemployment is a real problem. Like, people, I mean, it is the state's responsibility in the current context of things to provide jobs. And because it is failing to do so, you know, many people find themselves unemployed. But look, you know, there's this whole army of people who say, oh, self-employment is just doesn't work, entrepreneurship doesn't work, it doesn't work for everybody. But you know, it's almost like that anti-social, so anti-communist rhetoric or you know, propaganda of not wanting people to take on and start understanding the importance of taking on the responsibility, as difficult as it is. You know, no one's saying that, like, and it sucks, like the fact that the responsibility again is placed on poor people. The burden is placed on poor people, on black people, on oppressed people, on marginalized people, on everybody, really. You know, we're all majority of us face some sort of discrimination and some sort of a human rights violation. You know, at the core we all have one thing in common, and that is oppression. And so, you know, it's really up to you to take control and take stock of the journey of the fight. And so if really if unemployment is really the order of the day for like 10 years, at some point it has to ring that, like, you can't keep applying for work, but start finding ways to start creating the work, as little, as big as it is or can be. But it just ties into survival, because looking for employment sucks. If anything, it's an enemy on its own. You know, no, I don't wish that on anybody. The journey of having to look for work, the journey of rejections. I'd rather get rejected knowing that actually this one that I'm doing, it's. I mean, look, you get rejections in everything, and that's just like another thing, right? It's like there's rejections in unemployment, in self-employment. There's rejections in everything in life. We cannot, as I was saying earlier on as well, as that we can't have everything, but trust there are all these resources and abundance of it, and ours is just to really find ways to strategically organize ourselves and organize resources amongst each other, and you know, tackle the oppressor, tackle the challenges, the systemic challenges head on with all that is available to us. Yeah, sounds like all wishy-washy talk right now, but you know, we do live and dream. You know, we do live and dream and hope for the best, and sometimes we try. So I think, if anything, that's what my journey with my lawyers, walking this journey with people who have served as instruments of armor, you know, actually my battle has been of significance. Really, I can never ever not be thankful. So otherwise, ladies and gents and everybody, actually I don't say that, folks, everybody on the spectrum, on the gender spectrum, I'm about to spark me this joint and call it a night, because kubamnyama and I'm disappearing. I keep disappearing. I'm fading into the darkness. Have a good weekend. You know, in a few days of June that's left, 4 days left of June. Let's pray. Let's conquer, let's organize, let's revitalize, let's have a sense of renewal amongst ourselves, and continue whatever it is that we're doing and that we're trying to fight against, until we emerge victorious. Okay, love you.